Judy,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
William, I'm a pollinator looking for a home.
Well, I think we found a home for you.
Wow.
We'll tell you more about that home next on Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time. Did you know that there's a pollinator festival happening today at Dancing Oaks Nursery? Later in the show, I'll be talking to Leonard about it, and we'll tell you all about the festivities.
Also coming up on the show today, we are going to be taking you on a garden tour where designers give you their ideas you can use in your own garden.
We'll also be telling you about another pollinator plant, abutilons.
But coming up first, pheromones and yellow jackets. So I'm delighted to be standing here next to Derek Chikilo, and we're going to be talking about his company, which makes traps not only for trapping, but for monitoring different types of insects through their pheromones. So Derek, first of all, I have to know, how does that get into your life in a degree of finding information through college? What led you to this?
I was always interested in insect and how they find their host and they find each other.
Well, and you know, in talking to you before we did this segment, I was fascinated to find out that they find the pheromones through their antennas. Is that accurate?
Yes, they smell with their antenna. So, hence on our logo, if you look at the zigzag pattern here,
right,
the male moth will fly to the plume of that pheromone with the right antenna. Will tell him turn left. The pheromone is ending, so he will fly to the left, and then he find the other edge of the plume of that smoke, and he will find that female through this. Just his antenna will tell him to.
So that's why they zigzag.
Yes.
They're actually hitting the edge of what the female puts out.
Yes.
And it's not just a tiny little bit, it's out there, so they go back and forth until they narrow down.
Entire cloud of
Okay.
it, yes.
So then what is that then, the pheromones that you put in traps and stuff, that is what directs them, that they hit the trap and go into it, and that's how you find them?
That's how we do that, yes.
And then is that process something is that also then how you figure out how to stop them from existing in your garden and things like that? Do you know then what to do?
We can do that. We can mass trap those insects in the garden with just pheromones without using any insecticides.
And Derek, if somebody wasn't sure and they didn't want to just start spraying constantly, they just wanted to know if they had a specific insect, they can also use this program for that as well.
Yes.
And farmers do that.
Yes, farmers do that. Farmers monitor insect to reduce the pesticide spray. So our program can actually reduce the pesticide spray use or completely eliminate it.
Because once you're aware of what you have that is a problem with that plant that you're growing, then you can either eradicate that insect completely through the traps, or if you still choose to spray, you can do that, but the cost would be less expensive using the traps then.
Exactly, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Derek, I'm actually holding these traps, and I believe they're the same as you have hanging over there, right?
Yes.
And so what is it that these are trapping?
This trap is baited with two different attractants in it. One of them is for the spotted winged Drosophila, which is introduced invasive pest in the United States. And it's tiny fruit fly that is trapped on this.
Right, yeah, I see them.
That can damage our strawberries, cherries, blueberries, tomatoes, you name it. I mean, there's plenty, raspberries. And the other attractant is for yellow jackets.
Oh.
And at this point, we don't have any yellow jackets on this trap because there are only queens flying around. But later on in the summer, these traps will be covered with yellow jackets, yes.
Which is great because they tend to go to where we are outside having parties and dinners and stuff, and this would be a great way to solve that problem.
When I put 2-3 traps around my perimeter of my garden, we can eat dinner on our porch.
Without having to worry about that.
Without having to worry about it.
So Derek, but you have ways of trapping more than just yellow jackets and fruit flies, right?
Yes, we can do many different pests. We can trap codling moth on apples. We can trap cucumber beetles in the garden. We can trap some other pests that will chew on your lettuce or spinach. We have enough products for like over 300 insect species in the world.
Wow.
But for our garden, we can definitely help our garden to grow green without using pesticides.
And so then where do people go to find out more about this?
Just go to our website, alphasense.com, or call us at 503-342-8611, and we can help you.
Wonderful. You know, there's a lot of information here, a lot of good information. So, of course, as always, we will invite you to go to gardentime.tv to help maybe reduce the insects in your own garden and go to their website. Thank you so much, Derek.
Thank you.
Summer is all about celebration, and we've all used rose petals for an alternative to confetti.
Well, you know, we got this little clever idea about something else from your garden you can also make confetti with, and that's different types of leaves. Now, you can also take like a 3-hole punch. This is an iris leaf, so I thought, well, maybe we can get 3 at one time, and then the process will go faster. And sure enough, that works really well.
And you know, we used rose leaves, and those are really good. They're just the right thickness. We also found hosta leaves, peony leaves, even hellebore leaves. We tried weeds, but it just was too flimsy.
And so, you know, if you think, well, I don't have a lot of, you know, really beautiful big petaled flowers in my garden, you don't have to worry. Just go out, cut some leaves, and make leaf confetti for your next celebration.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Judy,
What?
what are you doing?
William, I'm trying to find gardening events in my area.
And you're having a hard time doing
I
that?
am having a hard time.
You know, all you have to do is go to gardentime.tv and look at the events page.
Ah, that is great news. So if you're looking for gardening events in your area, just go to gardentime.tv.
Build a beautiful home inside and out at French Prairie Perennials. Inside, we have just the right creative elements to complete your decor. We offer an oasis of unusual, nature-inspired garden and home gifts and accessories. Outside, choose from our wide selection of unique dwarf conifers and sparkling companion plants. French Prairie Perennials, located between Woodburn and Wilsonville. Take exit 278 to Aurora and French Prairie Perennials.
I'm at Dancing Oaks in Monmouth with Leonard. And Leonard, you know, the big buzz thing these days are pollinators. And you know, so many of us have flowers like down here. We have the salvias and roses, and the pollinators will come to that. But you have a whole selection of flowers that maybe we didn't think of. So thank you for this selection. It's gorgeous.
Oh, you're welcome.
So tell us a little bit, maybe start with this yellow one.
Judy, this is an alstroemeria, or Peruvian lily. They're very easy to grow and a great cut flower, and enjoyed by a lot of pollinators. Very colorful, so it attracts in some of the hummingbirds and other bees. And there's another variety here. It's a alstroemeria called tricolor.
Nice.
A long blooming selection, probably blooms for 6-7 months in the garden.
So we should share with them. We should plant double so that we can have some cut flowers and then something for the bees.
Oh, great idea, yeah.
And what else?
Here's a native here. This is our native milkweed, Asclepias speciosa, and that is the food for the monarch larva. So the monarch will lay its eggs on the underside of the leaf there, and little caterpillars will hatch out and eat the leaves of the Asclepias, or milkweed. And it's also a pollinator for like swallowtail. Butterflies enjoy the nectar in the flowers as well. Very sweetly scented and drought tolerant.
Wow, so we shouldn't worry if something's eating some of these plants because we might be giving food for the larva.
Exactly, a good thing.
Yeah, not just the flowers they're going after. What else you got?
Oh, over here next to
this
you,
one?
which kind of goes right there with your shirt,
It
that's
does.
the Trifolium rubens. That's a type of clover. It's a nice clumping clover, so it's not one to be afraid of running or getting away from you. And the hummingbirds enjoy that one a lot.
Wow.
And it also makes a very nice cut flower. So that's a Trifolium rubens, or red clover, but not the red clover that's planted as a cover crop.
Oh, okay. And the flowers are so small, you would think that they wouldn't go to it, but they're really, really all there for them nice nectar.
They find them, and they're also very beautiful when they're covered with dew in the morning. With the very dewdrops on there are gorgeous.
And I know this one, this crocosmian, I know hummingbirds love that
Yeah,
one.
that red color, that really draws them in. And so any of the crocosmias are fun for the hummers. They enjoy them, and some of the butterflies as well.
Is this a special one?
That's a lucifer, so
Oh,
a good
popular
tried and
one,
true
yeah,
one.
definitely.
So, yeah.
And then what's this
And
one?
That's a globe thistle there. That's Echinops. And they'll open up, and there'll be these beautiful little starry, like a sphere, star-like flowers. And the bumblebees in particular like those, and they'll just work on them for several minutes, it seems like. And it's really fun, like they're traveling the globe. when they go around it. That's a very easy plant and drought tolerant as well.
Oh, that's nice. And lupin, this is a beautiful lupin.
Yeah, and there are some nice introductions of some new series of lupin that are very colorful.
Very pretty.
And the West Country series. And so this one, full sun, easy, not particularly long lived, maybe 4 years or so. You get a dramatic show out of it, but definitely worth it.
Definitely. And then there's some small flowers right in front. What are those?
Yeah,
This
that's a
red one.
nice little ground cover. It's in the mint family, Monardella, Marion Sampson. And it is, as you can tell from the tubular red blossoms, a favorite as well of hummers. And easy to grow, rock garden type, or at the front of a border.
Very nice.
And nice minty scent to the foliage.
Pretty. And then this one has kind of a fuzzy leaf.
Yeah, this is some of the plants that are native to southern Oregon and into California. Used to be called California fuchsias.
Oh, okay.
Now they're called epilobiums in the
okay,
fireweed
yeah.
family. And very drought tolerant, so great in a xeriscape garden. Bright red tubular blossoms, and loved by both bees and hummingbirds as well.
Very nice. And now what about this double one here?
This is a selection of Philadelphus, or mock orange. This particular one's called Minnesota Snowflake. So most mock oranges are fragrant, some more so than others. But one thing to keep in mind with planting things for pollinators is that double flowers are a little more work for them to get into, so it is usually better to plant simple single flowers. It's a little more pollinator friendly. That way they can be more efficient and not work so hard to get in there for the pollen or the nectar.
Oh, perfect. So today is a special day for you. So what's going on today?
Oh, we have a lot of fun things happening. We have a lot of great information booths from the Xerces Society and Audubon and Oregon Bee Project and others as well, to get out information about pollinators, to be aware of what kind of habitat we can help them out with. We've also got some fun things for kids.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so a soil tunnel that one of the groups is bringing to explore in. And then we have a bee toss for kids that can throw at this board with bees. Little ping pong bees that you throw to help them learn about what flowers they might go to, and they get a free plant when they play that game. And,
that sounds great.
And mason bee pollinator kits, we're using the let's see there, bamboo tubes that we fill with a
Oh, that's okay. So much to do.
Yes.
We can't list it all, so we invite you to go to the website for Dancing Oaks and come out to Pollinator Fest. It's so much fun for the whole family. If you can't make it out here, come on out another time, or even go to their website. They do mail order. Thanks so much. Have a great day today.
Great to have you here.
This week's plant pick is brought to you by Little Prince. Our plants won't croak.
Join Dancing Oaks Nursery and Garden for our annual Pollinator Festival during National Pollinator Week. Learn about pollinators of all kinds and how you can attract them to your garden. Proceeds from this event benefit the Oregon Flora Project. Enjoy information and activities for all ages, food and drink vendors, discounts and giveaways, plus tons of pollinator plants to peruse. It's fun for the whole family. For more information, go to dancingoaks.com.
Nothing is more inviting than a garden full of beautiful clematis, and your chance to see the Queen of Vines is at the Rogerson Clematis Garden at Lusher Farms. To learn more about the garden, get directions, or learn about garden events, go to rogersonclematiscollection.org.
When you plant your flower baskets and containers this year, consider Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix for the best results. This worm castings-enriched, well-drained potting soil has a controlled release fertilizer to feed your plants up to 6 months. Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix now contains resilience for enhanced plant growth. Available at garden centers everywhere. For more information, visit blackgold.bz. All the riches of the earth.
So I'm standing out here at Blooming Junction, and I'm with Ron. And Ron, we are going to do some container plantings, which I really love containers. I love not only growing one thing, but many things in them.
Right.
So this is a great idea to me, because then we can, what we plant up, we can actually keep if we want to over time, and it's not just like an annual container.
That's right. All these are perennials, so they're long lasting, and your pot will look good, you know, for years to come.
Well, and I see that you have a trellis too, so clearly there's a viney thing in there. So why don't we jump in and tell me how you're going to put this together?
Okay. Well, first, you know, we put some soil in here already, just for save some time.
And this is actually, you use the raised bed soil, right?
I do, from Gardener and Bloom. It's a really good product,
It is,
all
yeah.
organic. It works really well. So the concept is basically the same with any other container. You know, you got your spiller, filler, and thriller, something that's up, something that's showy, something that trails over. In the instance of our thriller, if you will, we have this star jasmine here. This one's called Golden Memories. So we're simply going to just pop it out of the pot.
And then too, since it is a vine and it does grow, this is one that you can actually just pay attention to as it's growing on this, because it's a small trellis.
It
And
is.
you can prune it back to keep it that way.
That's right. And a lot of these things, too, that's a good point. A lot of people will plant and then kind of just accept the way the pot is when it's full, not thinking they can go in and prune out certain areas and keep things trimmed up.
Because the same way we prune in our yards, we can prune in containers as well.
That's right.
And so then once you get this going, you picked out a specific color frame of what you're putting in this.
Yeah, you know, I like high contrast.
Uh-huh.
So for instance, the heuchera.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a great one. This is Forever Purple. But I just love the really dark foliage here,
Right.
and the contrast against that.
Right, right.
So I'm going to plug this in over on the side here.
And when you start to create a container, I'm going to give you credit while you work on this, though. Do you look at the size of the plants at the time? Do you see them in the future as what they're going to be? How do you process choosing what you choose besides just color?
Yeah, I
alone?
do. You know, having a general knowledge of what the plant's going to ultimately do will help you determine where to put it in the pot.
Right.
If I was to put this on in the middle, it would take over the whole pot.
Right.
So this way here, we put it on the side. We can go back and we can prune out some of these leaves on the side, as it continues to get larger, and then this will fill this side of the container here.
Okay, yeah. So you're actually looking outside of the realm of just the pot. You're looking at the space that it would look like
That's
as it
right.
grows in. Nice.
And thank you for that.
That is that fire?
This is, yes, dianthus fire, which
Lovely.
this is, and I always like something that has some fragrance.
Right. And
here-
you've already got 2 in here now.
Right, we're gonna have 2 here. So, and just for the sake of time, I'm just gonna plug these in.
Right.
Like so.
And
I might have a little bit more plants than actually I'm gonna
well,
use
there's
in
no
the
shame
pot.
in that. I love this.
Yes, this is Godzilla transcantia. This will get actually quite large, spilling over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this one in behind the pot.
Oh, yeah.
And so what will happen is it'll spill out from the sides here and continue to also grow up and give this a nice backdrop too.
That,
So it'll have
right.
equal contrast there.
Because there's no shame in mixing 2 different types of growing plants that are going up together.
That's right.
I mean, we do that a lot with like clematis and stuff like that. You get mixed colors.
That's right. And I like the different shapes of the leaves.
Right.
You know, I like a lot of variation in my pots. This is a viola, a tan. This is a great little viola.
Really beautiful. And
It
long,
is.
long blooming.
Very long. It's been blooming all summer. I'll plug this guy in here.
I like too that with this one, it gives you that pop of yellow with all of these purple and pinks.
Yeah, right.
That's nice.
It also picks up on the yellow from here.
Right. And then what is this one?
This is our Lamium, White Nancy.
So that's really going to be a trailer too. That's going to be
It
a
is.
spiller for sure.
I'll put this in the front. And since I have this out here, this is Ruby Fields Diasha. Whoop. I'll also put this in the back here.
And then, you know, because we're making beautiful things, you also have a wonderful event happening. Tell me about that.
We do. We have our solstice event this Saturday from 11 to 4. So we'll have a live band, food. All of our vendors are going to be here. It's always a great time. It's our best event of the year. It's a lot of fun.
And then, if they want to, I'm sure that they can come out, not only buy the pottery and the soil, but some plants where they can make a beautiful planter like this at that same time.
That's right. And if not, we have plenty that are already made up.
Which is even easier.
Yep. Just grab and go.
Well, there you have it. So if you're looking to do beautiful perennial containers or come out and celebrate the solstice, you can do both of those. Go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Well, we love coming out to Little Prince of Oregon. I'm with Ryan, and actually they're one of our sponsors, and we come out every so often and have a plant pick of the week. So what's the plant pick this week?
So plant pick of the week is this week is the abutilons, which are also called flowering maples. It's kind of a wonderful series of plants that we like to grow. They are a zone 8 plant, so they're a little on the marginal side, but you know, left outside in the wintertime, a protected area, or mulched around. They'll go through the winter. They do great in pots and containers, or they can also be used as a house plant.
Ah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so there's various different colors and some shapes to the different ones that we grow.
All right.
There's a whole series called the patio series like this. So there's tangerine colored, or yellow blooms, there's red blooms. They do great because they bloom all summer long.
And these will stay a little bit smaller, maybe?
Well, they'll stay a little more compacted. You can
Okay.
keep them, depending on how you're pruning them, anywhere from a foot tall, but they can grow up into a large shrub where they can get up to 3 feet.
Nice. And you said sun, and so do we want to fertilize a lot?
They would. They're kind of a heavier feeder because they're putting out a lot of blooms and a lot of flowers continuously, so they are taking up all that nutrients. So they do need to have the food to keep them going.
All right. And then look at this. This doesn't even have to bloom for me. That's cool.
Yeah. So with the fun foliage on these. So this guy here, this is the abutilon. This is the Thompsoni. And so it has the great foliage for the mottled yellow and green leaves, and then that kind of stunning, kind of that peachy pink flower. But you can see as they get older, they just continuously put on the blooms. As the new blooms the old blooms fall off, you got new blooms coming on right behind it. So it has this kind of continuously blooming look to them throughout the season.
Nice. And then you have some other ones over here.
And then there's some other ones over here too. This one's called the Red Tiger.
Oh, look at that.
And so the bloom on this is just a super cool that mottled coloring to
Pretty.
it. So that's a real fun one. And then another one that's kind of an interesting different one. This is called abutilon megapotamicum. So
You
the
could
bloom
say
is a little bit different flower. The nice thing about this one is kind of how you want to prune it. It has kind of this arching, sprawling habit to it. So you could put this into like a large hanging basket and have this stunning looking down, or you could train it upright and train it up on a trellis.
Oh, very
and have
nice.
it have it taken up that way, where it have the blooms flowing down off of that.
That
So it's
is
not
cool.
quite as upright as some of these other
Right, some of
varieties,
the other
but it
ones.
gives you a little bit more flexibility of some of how you can do it.
And then another variegated one.
And then another variegated one here. So this is more of a green and white variegated. This is called Savitzii, and it has kind of this real soft peach flower to it. Doesn't show up quite as well, but the foliage is so stunning that it's still worthy of growing those.
Very pretty. And then one more form. So tell us about what we can do with this
Right,
one.
so a couple different ways you can do. Some of these have been pruned out where you've kind of pinched the tops and make them more bushy and full. But you could also take one like this that's more of a kind of a single stem.
Right.
And if you started plucking off, and pruning off these bottom stems, you can make a single trunk out of this and prune it into making like a patio tree.
That would
So
be
if you wanted
cool.
a nice focal point of something in a pot or container and still have your plantings underneath, you could train these to make them a patio tree.
Because people sometimes don't have a big yard, a big garden, and so to do it as a patio tree would be kind of fun to have there.
Yeah, and it's and then getting that much bloom off of
Yeah.
something that comes
Yeah.
back year after year is super nice.
And
too.
tell us about the pollinators too.
The pollinators, you're definitely going to get, having that deep throat. The hummingbirds love to get in there. It'll get it, and the butterflies will also get into those too.
It's really a well-rounded plant for anything.
It is,
For
and in a wide range of colors. So there's definitely a spot that you can have in your yard that will give you these.
Well, Little Prince of Oregon is in many, many different places around your local garden center. So if you want to get some of these plants for your garden, go to your friendly neighborhood garden center and ask for Little Prince of Oregon abutilons. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Great, thank you, Judy.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
What's even better than buying a brand new Subaru? How about getting the best possible value from a place that's as trustworthy and dependable as a Subaru? At Capital Subaru, your satisfaction is our goal, which is why you can always expect the kind of service and selection that keeps you smiling. From our lot to your driveway.
Dream bigger this summer. Now at Capital, lease the smart and versatile new 2019 Subaru Ascent Premium with seating for 8, just $349 per month.
Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Join Dancing Oaks Nursery and Garden for our annual Pollinator Festival during National Pollinator Week. Learn about pollinators of all kinds and how you can attract them to your garden. Proceeds from this event benefit the Oregon Flora Project. Enjoy information and activities for all ages, food and drink vendors, discounts and giveaways, plus tons of pollinator plants to peruse. It's fun for the whole family. For more information, go to dancingoaks.com.
At Sagawa Nursery, we talk about going beyond the ordinary. Whether it's new and exciting varieties of plants and shrubs, to a wide selection of unique Japanese maples, or our great collection of tools, garden products, and Asian-themed gifts, we can help transform your garden into something extraordinary. Come in and let us make your garden a showcase. Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Well, we love to do projects at our home, but sometimes they're beyond us. So I am with Vicki, the homeowner here. And so Vicki, you've been in this house and you had some challenges with this front yard.
Yes, we did. We had a slope. Also, because the property had been abandoned for 2.5 years, on the one hand, that's a negative because you can't move into a beautiful place, but we used it as a challenge and created what would you see from an open palette.
That is nice. So then you didn't have to work on that slope. You had now a terrace garden to work with.
Yes, and the wall came and they built this beautiful wall, and they also did new stairs in the front.
And that's a safety issue because the other ones were kind of crumbly.
Yes, they were.
And then you wanted some other projects. What else were you looking for?
In the backyard, we wanted low maintenance because the front is high maintenance. and I put gravel, and with that we put in a patio. Well, we didn't do it, the wall did it, and we had a pergola built over it.
Nice.
And it's lovely.
Yeah. And also a driveway?
And they did the driveway too.
Wow, so really many things that they could do.
Yes, they did.
Well, it just is lovely. It's stunning.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. So now I'm with Rick from The Wall, and so when you came in on this project, there were many different things that the client wanted.
Yeah, this is a very typical project for us. The front yard, sloping grass, unmanageable. And Vicki, of course, is a great customer to work with, and her ideas, we took those and we created a nice front yard retaining wall, made a nice level planting area for her.
It's nice. And so what are the products there? Because it's really a unique kind of facing on it.
Yeah, we did the recycled concrete retaining wall, which we've been doing for 30 plus years now. And then we put a capstone. It's a manufactured stone made to look like Columbia Gorge basalt. And that's what the cap is, and then the concrete stairs.
It's very nice because Vicki can even sit on it if she's doing some gardening.
Yeah,
or
it's
weeding.
about
That's
right.
nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah.
And then on the stairs, what happened with that?
The stairs were an older set of steps, and they were in decent shape. So we did a facing on them, and then we did the new buttress walls on the side, new concrete walls. Yeah.
Rick, the stairs really came out good, and that was a safety issue, but what else did you do?
Yeah, well, the stairs were needed here to get a nice set of steps, and then also we added lighting to this project. So we had a landscape lighting contractor come in and do a really nice low voltage system.
That is nice. I bet because people walk in this neighborhood, it's nice to have that in the neighborhood.
Absolutely, yeah, and low voltage lighting is beautiful, and it'd be good to see it here at night, but it really works well.
Wonderful. And then, this project is 10 years old,
Yes.
and it's like, it really has held up. And it's like, sometimes concrete is concrete, but it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great to revisit these projects, isn't it? And we've worked for so many years for Vicki, and then she has just done an amazing job of her mature landscaping here. So it's been fun to come back and visit it.
It is beautiful. So you just don't build walls. You really do many different things with concrete and with stone.
We really do. We've got a great concrete crew, so we do all types of flat work concrete, stairs, driveways, patios, things like that. And then retaining walls, anything from stone to a recycled concrete to poured concrete to concrete block.
That's amazing. And then, Vicki mentioned that she had a pergola built, and so you really just set her up with somebody that could do that too.
Yeah, we worked with her remodeling contractor on the pergola, and he's very good, did an excellent job. And then we have other contractors that came in and helped with the design of the landscape work for her, the lighting and the irrigation.
That is nice because it's nice as a customer or client that you want to get it all done and you want to find somebody that can give you people that are just great craftsmen and that you trust.
Yeah, they're twofold. We love to refer good people, and we like it when our customers get a good project from someone that we know and can trust.
Well, this is just a beautiful project, as you can see from all the photos. A wonderful garden, too. So if you are thinking about doing some projects, go to the Garden Time website and you can click over to The Wall and you can see what they can do for your home and garden. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. For our tip of the week is what to do when you have needles on your lawn. It really gets to be very irritating, especially if you love to run barefoot on your lawn. The best thing to do is after you mow, go through and rake up all the needles so they come to the surface of the lawn. And then get your lawnmower again and then roll right back over it and it'll pick it up. You can bag it, you can put it on your compost and really make your lawn look so beautiful. Raking up your needles, that's our tip of the week.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
In the summer months, water use can double or triple due to outdoor watering. Here are 3 simple tips to help save water and money this summer. Set your sprinklers so that they're watering your lawn and plants and not the pavement. Water early in the morning or later in the evening when temperatures are cooler. Group plants with similar water, shade, and sun needs together. For more water conservation information and tips, check out the Regional Water Providers Consortium at www.conserveh2o.org.
No matter what shade your green thumb is, you can find the plants and the help you need at Wavra Farms. We're filled with an astounding array of colorful plants to fill your garden. In addition to wonderful annuals and perennials, we are known for our hanging baskets. We also have all your garden essentials, and we have great garden gifts too. From beginner to expert, you'll find something new and different with every visit. Wavra Farms, located off Highway 22, Exit 5, east of Salem.
Well, I am so delighted to be standing in a beautiful garden that is on an upcoming tour, and I'm here with the owner, Claudia, and the landscape designer, Barbara, right?
Yes.
So first of all, I'm going to chat with you, Claudia. Okay. So tell me about what was it that motivated you to be in the garden and to do things you've done in it?
Well, I'm a farmer's daughter, so gardening has always been really important to me. And my husband and I built this house, and we wanted a garden that was kind of a European English garden, but also a place we could go where nobody else could see us, where it's hidden and it's very private, because we're in a neighborhood with big tall houses all around our one level house, and with Barbara's help we have achieved that.
And so then when did you first of all, when did you move in here, and when did you start thinking of the garden?
We built the house in 2006, and Barbara came in March or February of 2007.
Oh, so early.
Yes, because I said I'm not doing it wrong, because so many other gardens I put in things and then had to rip them out because they were wrong. And so we started right off the bat with a designer, and by that fall we had the hard scapes in and some of the shrubs.
Okay, so let me switch over here to Barbara. Now, Barbara, you've been with this garden and this owner for a long time then,
yes,
so it's been a consistent relationship with you. What do you see as the benefits to not just having a designer go, okay, here's the thing, do it, and then leave, but stay with each other? What do you see as the value of that as a designer?
Well, sometimes I think of gardens as sculptures, living sculptures.
Right.
And so many times you design a garden, you see it installed, and then you don't get to see it evolve. And it's really been fun to have such an enthusiastic client as Claudia to keep bringing me back when things change. Because gardens change. They're not static at all.
Well, and our lives change, so it would make sense that our gardens would change along with us. And you've seen actual changes here, like when talking to you before we did this segment, there was actual crepe myrtles in these raised beds, and weather made them go away.
Right.
So you continue to keep things like that were great in this garden because you knew she liked them, and go forward with her.
Right, and to work with how the shade changes and the sunlight changes. So.
And then do you find now, Claudia, that was something, were you expecting that when you first started dealing with her, or was this a pleasant surprise?
It was a pleasant surprise. Nice. I did not think after all these years that we'd still be, every couple years Barbara comes out and takes a look and we talk about things. And we've gone through maybe 4 or 5 additions or changes, took the grass out, put in the walking paths, and Barbara has just been right there all the time. So it's been really fun.
Wonderful.
To spend time together doing that.
Nice indeed. Well, we are on a tour, so tell us about this tour, what the name of it is, and what we're going to be seeing, besides just this stunning garden.
Right. Well, this is the Association of Northwest Landscape Designers, and it's a garden tour by designers. And there's going to be 7 tours in this year's garden. Garden tour is Saturday, the 22nd, and it runs from 9 to 5. And it starts in Eastmoreland. It comes down here to Oregon City. It has 3 gardens in Lake Oswego and even a garden out in Wilsonville. And they are all fantastic gardens, and they are all very, very different and worth the drive. So we've extended the hours this year from 9 to 5 to give people that time to get to all the gardens.
Well, I have to tell you that Judy and I have both gone on this tour before in the past and gone to different gardens. It is always amazing to me how absolutely uniquely different they are, and with such good ideas to come out. And then you talk to the owners and you even get to take ideas and do them in your own yard.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what's fun about Claudia's garden is it allows people to see you don't have to have a huge estate
Right.
to have a gorgeous garden. You can have a wonderful little oasis.
So where can people go to get tickets and information about this tour?
We can go to our website, which is anld.com/annual-garden-tour, and tickets are available at the First Garden in Eastmoreland, so you can actually get that information because we still have room for more people to visit.
Well, there's always room for more people to look at beautiful gardens. So for more information, as always, we'll invite you to go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website, pick up the information, and come out and look at some amazing, beautiful gardens throughout our area. Ladies, thank you so much for your time and for your invitation into your garden, all right?
Thank you so much.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
1,112? 1,113?
William, what are you counting?
I'm counting all of our wonderful friends on Facebook.
And we invite everyone to go to Facebook and like us and follow us.
All you have to do is go to gardentime.tv and hit the Facebook icon, which is in the top right-hand corner.
It's the best place to get the most updated information on Garden Time.
So all you have to do is click us and like us.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
Nothing is more inviting than a garden full of beautiful clematis, and your chance to see the Queen of Vines is at the Rogerson Clematis Garden at Lusher Farms. To learn more about the garden, get directions, or learn about garden events, go to rogersonclematiscollection.org.
I have a very interesting guest today. I'm with Peggy Moget, and she is a Portland area artist. And Peggy, how do you describe your art? Does it have like a category?
Impressionism, veering toward realism.
And really, you come to gardens. I know that we met you not too long ago at Shriner's Iris Gardens, but you also go to the tulip fields out at Wooden Shoe, and here we are at the Washington International Test Rose Garden. So it's really, really lovely to see you and to see your artwork and depicting this beautiful garden.
I love color, I love flowers. I've painted flowers for many years, probably since 1992 is when I fell in love with all the Willamette Valley flower farms. And in fact, I've been to Shriner's probably, I can't count the number of times I've been there. I love color.
So getting started or appreciating some art, what do you do first? I saw that you have this beautiful painting on an easel, but you really start before that, getting ready.
Right. I've made mistakes in the past where I start painting and then I'm painting up and then my composition is all wrong. So for now, what I do is I start with a pencil, sketch and work out my composition. That way I can decide what size canvas to use. And I work out the lights and darks, and I go from there. Then I just transfer it onto the canvas.
Yeah, but she's a professional. So, and I see you have so many different colors on your palette of paint, and so you really have a beautiful arrangement of colors to choose from.
Right, I mix those by looking at all of the colors I see, but keeping in mind the values from, say, a 1 to a 10, which is be the lightest, right? And I squint when I'm looking at the scene because there's many darks, and I'll squint to see, is this dark darker than this dark?
Sure.
That way you're going to have a realistic depiction of your of what you want to portray.
And I noticed too with your artwork, it has a pathway and it leads somewhere, so it's like a garden. It's like building a garden.
Right.
So for gardeners, it's easier to understand that kind of correlation there.
Exactly. I like you to wander around in the painting but not go off. So there's things on the side, darks or marks that keep you within it.
Well, then you can enjoy the scene.
Right.
You know.
And I love being out in the outdoors, the wind and the smells of the flowers, and I'm hoping that the joy I feel being out here is translated to my paintings, and that people can, if you take the painting home, then you can remember what it was like when you were walking through the garden.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what we as gardeners do too.
Exactly.
So we're on a bright sunny day, so you're painting at this minute, and so what if the clouds come over? So what do you do if you have to go home? Say it's going to start raining. Do you remember everything in your mind?
Not very well. I usually take several photographs of the scene, and then I blow it up and I look at my painting and see if there's something I missed.
Well, there's all kind of tricks of the trade of an artist.
Right. But I think everyone should give it a try. It's really fun to paint outdoors, and you feel freer. With a photograph, you don't get all the values. The darks are black, and
sure.
you don't see the dimension. And being outdoors painting, you get to paint that.
Well, you heard it from Peggy that we should all take a pad of paper and some watercolors or oils or just pencil and go out in our gardens or go to a city park or a beautiful garden like this garden.
Enjoy.
And enjoy. If you have any other questions, you can go to gardentime.tv and go over to Peggy's site. You could see so many of her beautiful photos of her paintings and really enjoy that. And I think
the Portland Art Museum Rental Sales Gallery has larger works that are for rent, and you can rent them for 3 months and then another 3 months, and then you have to buy them or bring them back.
Well, you can get all that information out on the website. Well, thank you so much for turning us on to this. I think you've taken a little bit of the fear out of it.
All right, thank you very much.
For 90 years, Espoma has one guiding principle: develop the finest organic gardening products that work in harmony with nature, grow beautiful gardens, and make a greener world for the future. From our soil products to our plant foods, we have always been committed to the environment and sustainability. We use a vast array of natural and organic ingredients and package them in our 100% solar-powered plant. Look for the quality line of Espoma products at your local independent garden center. Espoma, organic from the beginning.
Now's the time. Standard TV and appliance 4th of July savings going on now.
Huge price cuts on top brand appliances and Simmons Beauty Rest mattresses. Get an LG front load washer with steam, only $634, or a Samsung stainless steel French door refrigerator, only $10.99. Save big on a stainless steel Whirlpool dishwasher, only $449. Plus get a Simmons Beauty Rest queen mattress for just $399.
Hurry! 4th of July savings won't last long. Standard TV and appliance.
Hey everybody, my name is Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden, and my kids are out of school, the sun is out, it's summertime, and really this is the time of the year that I start looking for new plants and things to get excited about the following year. But today, I want to show you plants that I saw last summer that I have spent the last year excited about, and I finally get to share them with you. So first, I want to start with this brand new dark leaf dahlia. This is City Lights Purple. The foliage is almost black, and this absolutely beautiful tight purple blossom is something that I think will really stand out in your garden, and even better yet, it's going to bloom all summer long. Great new plant this year. I saw this plant probably a little bit over a year ago now. This is a brand new sunflower from Monrovia called Brown-Eyed Girl, and you can see it is just covered with blossoms. We've seen now for the past couple years some sunflowers coming out that claim to bloom all summer. This is the very first one that I've had that has bloomed all summer in my garden. Each plant, they say, will get 1,000 sunflower blossoms. I'm excited to have it in my yard. But let me show you a few more things. I'm always looking for new perennials, and this is a brand new agastache called Morello. And when I go and look at plants and see how they perform in trial gardens, this plant stood out above all the rest. Mounding beautiful flowers, blooms all summer long, and even better yet, it's actually in the mint family. So it has this wonderful aroma when you brush up against the foliage or smell it in the summer breeze. a great perennial to add to your garden. But here's a little secret. I have been dying to get this plant to you for almost an entire year now. I first saw this plant early last winter, and I had to search online across the world. I found 3 plants, and I have been spending the last 6 to 8 months working on getting enough stock so that I can share it with you. So here it is. This is a brand new succulent. It's actually a hybrid of 2 different succulents, and you can see the little leaves look like jumping dolphins. They call it string of dolphins. This is a super easy to care for plant. It's gonna look great in your patio, out in some of your planters all summer long. And then when winter comes, it makes a wonderful house plant. So you can bring it inside. Your friends are gonna be talking about it, wanting to know where you got it, and you can tell them you came on down to Bauman Farms. We've got these and so much more all summer long at the farm. We're looking forward to seeing you. We'll see you soon.
I am out in the garden nursery this morning with Carol. And Carol, we're actually out in the display garden. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And really, you can stroll around here and see, big size plants, and then go through the nursery and see the little ones to take home. It's really something to see what it'll do in the garden.
Exactly. That's why we have the display garden.
And the roses are beautiful, alliums, columbine. It's really a nice time to come and see everything. But we're going to talk today about some of the plants. I think, Carol, you're so animated when you talk about them. It's like the drama queens. So what is a drama queen plant?
To me, the drama queens are a combination of bold foliage and ones that sometimes are a little weather sensitive. On a hot day, they say, oh my gosh, it's too hot. I need to be in the shade. And as soon as it cools down, they pop back up and they're fine.
And I think we talk about drought tolerant plants a lot, but sometimes you have that neighbor that waters too much and it comes on your property, or you have a sprinkler that's on a lot and you have a wet area, or you have your own spring that's kind of a seasonal spring. So really, these are the plants for that.
They absolutely are. So here we have a whole bunch of ligularias. I have probably 8 varieties.
Cool.
I just love them. There's big ones, little ones. Most of them are summer blooming. They're just amazing foliage plants.
And so this one is called Rocket, and now they have, for smaller size gardens, we have Little Rocket.
Little Rocket. So it's about half the size. It's an amazing bloomer. They're blooming about a month and a half early, but that's
early.
okay. They normally are mid-June to into July, but beautiful little bright yellow flowers, which is also nice for a shady spot too, to have some summer color.
Definitely. And this dark foliage ligularia, so much difference between the two, but they're actually cousins.
They are. This is Britt Marie. They have a little different flower. They're gold daisies. They tend to be more moundy versus the other two are more upright. They're just wonderful dramatic plants. Britt Marie in a little more sun is much more dark color like this. In the shade it fades out a little bit, but still has this really deep, vibrant color.
And there's one that's a kind of variegated one here. It's kind of got cream and green and burgundy. That's a gorgeous one.
Yeah,
really a lot of different textures for that one family.
There are. And then there's the other cousins of this too. They used to all be ligularias. They're now farfugiums. They tend to be a little thicker leafed. They're not quite as winter hardy. I like them as container plants. If you protect them a little bit from frost, put them, under a cover or in a lightly heated greenhouse, they'll be evergreen and they're amazing container plants.
And then there's a variegated one too. Really a pretty shape, this kind of broad oval one, very nice. And then I love acanthus, and I think that I love them because I've been traveling, and when you see them in the in Italy or in Spain, it's kind of fun to see them, but a really old-fashioned plant around the world.
They are, and they're wonderful. This is just a little baby one. I have some amazing, gigantic ones in my garden. It's one of my husband's favorites, so it's all over our garden, but they make that big statement, and that's why you get these drama queens, to make a statement, say, hello, come see me.
And they have a cool flower. It kind of looks like a delphinium or a foxglove.
Yes.
And that's later in the summer, too.
Yeah, it's usually midsummer.
And then what is this one?
So this is one of my added to my drama queens. It doesn't have the super bold foliage that some of the other ones, but it's one that I often use as an indicator plant in a bed. This is it's an Artemisia giju. It tends to want real consistent moisture, just like everybody else, but she'll tell you when she's dry. So often, like when a bed is dry, this is the first one to wilt, to get very dramatic, call your attention, you water everybody, she perks right up and it's fine.
Ah, that is good. And then, so this one, we don't recognize this too much when it has leaves, so what's that?
That's right, yeah, it's an Edgeworthia. Most people see it at the winter sales in full bloom. They have those amazing fragrant flowers, and then people don't realize what it looks like in the summer, and it's this wonderful, big, bold, tropical looking foliage. And so I thought it'd be a good one to point out because it is still many seasons of interest, not just the flowering.
Ah, nice. And then that gold foliage plant, that's really interesting.
That gold one, that's an Aurelia Sun King. And this is a young one. It's so worth it. Takes it a few years to get size on it, but it's amazing. It'll hold this beautiful bright gold color even in full shade.
Wow, that's really a beacon then in a shady area.
Yes.
Really would brighten
Absolutely.
up that corner. And then what's next to that with the big
The next one
leaves?
is a rheum. It's a tangutium, so it's a ornamental rhubarb. And it's another one, sun to part shade, but it's also, that again is a baby. The foliage will get 3 to 4 times bigger than that. It's very dramatic, but again, it wants that consistent moisture. And it's another nice one too, like the ligularias. It can go sun to part shade. It's pretty flexible.
Carol, I really like this one. Look at that new foliage. It's got like a bronze tone to it. So pretty.
This is a Regersea. This is Hercules, so it's big and strong. The leaves will be 5, 6 times bigger than what they are now. Makes this huge, beautiful mounds, big, tall, kind of a stilby-ish pink flowers in the summer. It's really a dramatic, wonderful plant that says, come look at me.
Ah, very nice. And then we have like a vine here, which you just don't think about using a vine sometimes.
Well, the reason I added this to our drama queens is that this is a hardy fuchsia. Most hardy fuchsias are upright. Well, this one wants to ramble. And I have found it's actually more than just a drama queen. It's actually a tough one. It's really amazing. I've had it in a spot in the garden that's actually pretty low water. It's done beautifully. It's not a real heavy bloomer, but has this beautiful, big, large foliage, and I just love it. I think it's just a wonderful addition in any garden.
Really nice. Well, you know, I think we have a lot of things here to kind of consider for our garden. For that one space that might be a kind of a troublesome one, you have to come to out in the garden and maybe have some time here that you can just stroll around and enjoy this environment and this beautiful display garden. Thanks so much, Carol.
Thanks, Judy.
We want to thank you for watching today, and don't forget about the Pollinator Festival happening at Dancing Oaks Nursery near Monmouth.
We also wanted to remind you and let you know that this is our last 1-hour show for this season. However, we will be back with the 30-minute shows until November.
So remember, go to gardentime.tv for more information about today's show or any events happening in the area.
Thanks for spending your time with us today, and we'll do this again next week right here on Garden Time. $1,112, $1,113.
William, what are you counting?
I'm counting all of our wonderful friends on Facebook.
And we invite everyone to go to Facebook and like us and follow us.
All you have to do is go to gardentime.tv and hit the Facebook icon, which is in the top right-hand corner.
It's the best place to get the most updated information on Garden Time.
So all you have to do is click us and like us.
I love the Jordan Kent Skill Camp. And as a busy mom, it is really nice to have time to get things done. Smile for our followers. You bet your butt next episode. Got a lot done today.
The preceding was a paid program of the Gustin Creative Group and its sponsors.